Hello queers, peers, and beards, and welcome back to another video. This weekend turned out to be a bit wild. It was my birthday weekend, but I ended up spending most of it not feeling very well. For those of you who might not know, I have what is called PMDD. It's something I've dealt with for a long time, but this weekend really brought it to the forefront. As I sat with everything, I started peeling back the layers of realization that if I'm serious about healing, I need to start addressing the parts of this that I can't manage on my own. PMDD for me brings on an onset of severe depression, anxiety, paranoia, and other symptoms that are not just life-altering, but also potentially life-threatening. It deeply affects my ability to function, especially when it comes to working on my comic or handling my day-to-day tasks. I usually deal with these symptoms for about 3 weeks out of each month. Things tend to intensify the week before and during my cycle. Then, like clockwork, I'll have this moment, this mental whiplash, where I suddenly feel like myself again. It's like, oh, is this what it feels like to have the lights on? And that's been my reality for a very long time. And while I do have something in the works related to this topic, something I may share more in the future, today I want to shift gears and talk about the current comic pages I'm working on. Though now that I think about it, these scenes are still sort of heavy, but if you've made it this far, I hope you can handle it. Right now, I'm deep into a scene where Inky receives instructions from Rabia. Now that he's found the Sunseekers, she's informing him of what comes next. One important theme that might not be immediately obvious is loss of control, which is something Inky has struggled with for most of his life, especially in his role as the Sun Thief. He may have had choices, but any decision that went against Rabia's wishes would come with serious consequences. And that's echoed in Macy's words. Whether you think you can or can't, it doesn't matter, just ride this out for now. Which in Inky's world really translates to, you don't have a choice. That sentiment, that lack of choice, has followed him for most of his life on the Lamprey, and it isn't until much later in the story that he begins to realize he does have some form of a choice, the opportunity to choose to do the right thing. Whether or not he actually takes that chance is another matter, but based on his journey so far, I'm hopeful. Outside of that heavier narrative thread, I finally got to enjoy something I haven't done in a while, which is hand rendering backgrounds. I had to, really. There were no other 3D models that matched this specific part of the ship or the ship overall, and I've based it on the Korean turtle ship. Since the sea space functions kind of like a body of water, the ships need to behave more like submarines in a way. And on top of that, I also got to draw some lacuna vines and a little Luxos, the sea pancake you see near the bottom of that page. Either way, thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. As always, I appreciate your support more than I can say, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, make room, break the mold, and keep going.